In our last video, we learned how to create lists and remove items using remove, pop, and del. Today, we're going deeper. I'll show you how to loop through lists, what important list functions like min, max, and sorted actually do, how slicing works, and how to properly copy lists. Now, looping through a list. Now here, first of all, let me give you an example. So my list is equal to, and then I'll just put random like numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. There you go. Now we have a list. And then here, now if we want to print every number, we could do this. Print my list 0, and then print my list 1, and so on for the rest of the numbers. But this one, it takes too much time, and yeah, you want to save time, right? And it's also pretty like inefficient. So instead, we use a loop. So in this case, we would be using a for loop. So my list is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So now we're going to loop through the list so that it prints the rest of the numbers. So for items in my list, in range, yeah, for items in my list, my bad. And then I would do print my list. There you go. Oh wait, I forgot the indentation, and there you go. Now here, I'll explain step by step what each thing does in the for loop. So basically, for items in the my list, so here for we started a for loop, and then here items is basically like a temporary variable to indicate like whatever is values inside the list, and here in my list. So for whatever numbers are in the list, we're basically telling Python whatever numbers are in the list, loop through them and print them in the output. So it's going to end up printing 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And as you can see, wait a minute. Let me execute the code. And as you can see, it ends up printing our list of 10, 20, 30, and 40. There you go. Yeah, so that's basically what we wanted, right? Oh, wait. I forgot to do print item of it. Because if you do print my list instead, it's going to end up printing like 10, 20, 30, 40, and then like 5 times instead. So we don't want to do that. We actually just want to print 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And as you can see, it ends up printing 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now here, basically, this loop automatically goes through each element one by one. Now, we could also loop with an index. So for example, here I'll do for item in range, len my list. So here I'll explain step by step what each thing does in here. And then here I would write print, print I, and then my list. There you go. Now basically here, the item, well, we created a new variable named item. It's temporary and in range. Now the range function, basically I covered it in our previous video, so make sure to check it out. Basically it ends up printing like, we're basically telling Python to print numbers between a range. So it could be like 0 to 5 something. But in this case, we put range length my list. Now, what's the length of our list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this case, it's the same thing as doing in range 5. So here it would end up printing 5 times. And then here, here my list I, well, oops, I forgot to put my list. I know it. Now here, basically, my list I, what it does, it accesses the item at that index. So now, let's execute the code and I'll show you the output so that you can understand what it is. Oops, for item. Yeah, there you go. But actually, I wanted to use just the variable I. So let's just remove it because item doesn't make really like sense in here, maybe. So clear terminal, and there you go. And as you can see, it ends up printing 0, the index. Basically, it's gonna end up like writing what each number, well, like what the index of each number is. So basically, Python here is telling us the number 10, its index is 0, and then here minus 20 I. So basically, the index 1 is 20, index 2 is 30, and so on. So basically, you should use this version when you need the index number. Now I'll introduce built-in functions. So let's completely remove this code and let's create a new list called numbers is equal to, for example, 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Now we just created a new list. And now here, if we write print len numbers, now basically here it's gonna end up printing the length of our like list. So basically the length of our list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also keep in mind that whenever you use the length built-in function, it always counts by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of counting it from the index. So if you do here, you execute the program, as you can see, it ends up printing the length of our list, which is a 5. And instead it does not use indexing. Now if you were to use like indexing, it would become 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would end up printing 4. But in this case, it won't use indexing, like starting from the 0. So this is an exception in here. So basically, it tells how many items are inside the list. Now let me introduce to you another cool topic, which is print min numbers. Now, what does min numbers do? It's basically going to end up printing the smallest number or find the smallest value inside. So once we execute the code, it's going to end up printing 5 and 1. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We're basically telling Python find the smallest number in our list, and the smallest number in our list is obviously 1 in here, which is why it ends up printing 1 in here. Now let me introduce to you the opposite of min, and the opposite of min is max. So basically min is short for minimum, if you didn't know. So let's do print max numbers. So basically maximum. So what do you expect? Of course it's gonna end up printing the biggest number in our list, right? Which is 10, obviously. And as you can see, it ends up printing 10, just like how we wanted it to. Now here, I'm going to introduce to you another cool function, which is called sum. Now, well, the name itself sounds really obvious, right? It's going to end up printing the sum of all the numbers. So basically, it's going to do 10 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, and it's going to end up giving us the sum. Now, basically, 10 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives us 20 here. So let's just make sure. 10 plus 4, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, that's correct. So it only works with numbers. This is the important note. Now, let me teach you the sorted function. Now, let me just remove like these since I already introduced these. Um, I'll use the sorted function. So basically, the sorted function it returns a new list in ascending order. It does not change the original list. So if we do print sorted numbers, so it's gonna basically sort the numbers. Yeah, yeah. So as you can see, it ends up printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So it's basically it's gonna end up printing like from the smallest number till the biggest number. So yeah, um, so if we do print sorted numbers in here, and then if we just do like print numbers, yeah, there you go. We're gonna execute the program, and as you can see, it does not change the list at all. Like it does not change the original list. So the original list is still the same. Now I'm gonna introduce to you a dot sort. Dot sorted dot sort sound like the same thing, right? But no, there's actually a pretty like big difference. Now let's type numbers dot sort. There you go. And then I'll write print numbers. Now let's execute the program and let's see what our output would be. And yeah, so basically, the sort method, it basically changes the original list and it modifies it permanently. So now let me tell you guys the clear difference. So sorted, it basically creates a new sorted list, and the dot sort changes the original list. So yeah, that's basically what it does. If in case you didn't know. So wait, let me just prove it to you guys another time. So sorted numbers. So here it's gonna be like side by side comparison. So here it's gonna end up printing the sorted numbers, but by using the sort method, and here we're gonna use the sorted method. And yeah, as you can see, it ends up printing basically like the same output, but again, these are like the first one basically uses a completely different no, the first one creates a completely new sorted list, which is basically the sorted one, and the dot sort method basically changes the original list. So this is actually important to emphasize. All right, now I'll be explaining to you guys what's slicing. Now slicing is basically when you want to print like a specific number till another specific number. For example, 4 to 1, basically something like that. Now, basically slicing format is list, and for example, list, and then I'll do start and stop. So basically this is the format of how a slicing works. Now I'll be showing you a great example. So print numbers 1 to 4. Now what does 1 to 4 do? It's basically going to end up printing um, the number index 1 till index, yeah, 4, I think. Yeah, so 4, no, it is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It actually, it's actually going to end up printing till 2, not index 4. Like it does, Python does not mention at all like the last number. So for example, we did 1 to 4, so it won't include the fourth, and it would only go till 432, which is why in our output in here we end up seeing 432. Now basically it starts at index 1 and stop before index 4. So yeah, it does not include the stop index. That's basically what it means. So now we're gonna use another example of slicing, which is print numbers. We're gonna put the brackets again, and we're gonna write colon 3. There you go. Now once we clear our terminal and execute the program, it's gonna end up printing 10, 4, and 3. Now what does this actually do? Basically, if we leave the start empty, Python automatically always starts from 0. So basically, it's the same thing as doing 0 to 3. So, yeah, so it means start from index 0 and stop before 3 and before the index 3. And here index 3 is 2. So it would only end up printing 10, 4, and 3. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, here is another cool example, but it's slightly different. So here, basically, if we leave the start empty, it's gonna start from like automatically from index 0, right? But this time, if we put 1, for example, start from index 1, and we don't specify from which number that you have to stop before, then Python automatically goes until the end. So from 0 to till the end. As you can see, it ends up printing 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's basically the simple rule of Python. So basically, now I'm gonna be explaining to you the step value. So now it's called a start, stop, and step. Now what does start, stop, and step doing here? So this is what, just like how I explained this and this is start and stop before 5. Now if we do, for example, with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop before 4, and then we do, and we add another colon, and then we do 2, for example. Or let's just write, let's just remove these two columns, and let's just put this. There you go. Now what does this do? Basically this, we didn't specify the start, so it's gonna, Python's automatically gonna, you know, assume like it's gonna start from the index 0. We didn't specify the end, so Python's gonna assume that it's gonna until the end. Yeah. So, and here step. Now step basically means that you have to print after every two numbers. So basically it prints every second number. Now if you don't believe me, let's check it out. Let's clear our terminal and let's execute our program. And as you can see, it ends up printing 10. And then the second number, which is after it, this is 1, 2. So 1 plus 2, 3, and then 3 plus 2, 5. So it's going to print 10, 3, and 1. Yeah. And so it's going to print every basically every second number. Now here, let me introduce to you another cool slicing method, which is called the negative slicing. Well, yeah, so basically print nums, and then here I would do double colons minus 1. So the start we didn't mention again, and this end we didn't mention it either. Now basically here, the step is negative 1. So the step, it's basically means it's going to reverse the entire list. So instead of 10, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's going to end up going till 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So the output would end up displaying 1, 4, 3, 2, and 10. So basically the start in here is index 0, but index 0 in this case would become 1. Or yeah, because we use negative 1, and then the end we didn't specify, which means Python automatically assumes that it's going to print all the way till the end, minus 1. It's going to end up printing literally the opposite of this list. Don't believe me? Let's check this out. As you can see, it ends up printing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 in our output. There you go. All right. Now, I'm going to be introducing to you guys how to copy lists. Now, basically, let me write this. Let me remove this code. So now I'm going to write A is equal to 1, 2, 3. There you go. And then I'll write B is equal to A. All right, now if I do B dot append 4, and then print A. Now here I forgot to mention to you guys, but the append method basically adds the number 4 to the list. So let's execute the program and let's see what the output would be. And it will end up printing 1, 2, 3, and 4. But why did A change 2? Because both variables are pointing to the same list in memory. So basically, now we could fix this by doing A is equal to 1, 2, 3, then B is equal to A, and then this, gonna add the brackets, and then colon, and then B dot append 4, and then print A, print B. Now what does this code do in here? As you can see, it ends up printing 1, 2, 3, which was the first case, but the B, it ends up becoming 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, basically, using slicing, it creates a copy, but now they are separate lists. So if you use slicing like this, it would end up creating a completely new different list for the variable B. But if you just did B is equal to A, and then you did print A like directly, then yeah, um, it would end up, well, basically printing 1, 2, 3 because they're both allocated to the same memory, because you're literally saying B is equal to A, and then you're saying print A, and then B dot append 4 print A, and yeah, obviously it's gonna end up printing the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and yeah, guys, that was it for today's tutorial. So I hope you like this tutorial uh, of how to loop through lists, use important built-in functions, slice lists properly, and copy lists safely. Now, in our next video, I'll be covering lists versus tuples and what's the difference. Yeah, guys, have a nice day. Bye.